Namaste. Today we celebrate the anniversary of a significant event, the anniversary of the adoption of our Constitution, which guarantees equal justice to its entire people, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of nation. Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document, it's a work of life, and its spirit is always the spirit of age. We are forever grateful to all the great leaders of our nation for this document, which was and will be the guide to our future destination, ensuring the unity and integrity of our nation. India, being one of the greatest democracies in the world, we have every reason to be proud of. A big salute to the framers of this law. We will follow the ideals as enshrined in the Indian Constitution. Jai Hind.
None of us need have any apprehensions. None of us need have any doubt. But my fear, which I must express clearly, is this. Our difficulty, as I said, is not about the ultimate future. Our difficulty is how to make the heterogeneous mess that we have today take a decision in common and march in a cooperative way on that road which is bound to lead us to unity.
The Constitution of India. Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Namaste. So today I am going to speak about the first fundamental right, that is the right to equality. The right to equality comes under the Article 14 to 18. The Articles 14, 15 and 16 states that the state shall not deny to any person the equality before the law, and the state shall not discriminate any person based on his race, religion, caste, gender, birthplace or any of them. And also, equal opportunities must be provided to each and every Indian citizen. It also includes equality of opportunity in matters of employment, abolition of untouchability and other titles. So, in simple words, we can say that it is the right to live with equal opportunities. It simply treats all the people to be the same and nobody can get a special privilege. As per the Article 14 of our Constitution, it guarantees that all people shall be treated equally by the laws of our country.
Namaste. So, now I am going to say about right to freedom. Right to freedom is one of the fundamental rights guaranteed by Indian Constitution. The right to freedom guarantees freedom for citizens to live a life of dignity among other things. These are given in Articles 19, 20, 21E and 22 of the Indian Constitution. The main features of right to freedom are freedom of speech and expression, freedom to assemble, freedom to form association or union, freedom to move freely, freedom to practice any profession, freedom to reside and settle in any parts of India. Freedom. It is power or right to act or speak or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint and the absence of despotic government. The right to freedom of association is recognized as a human right, a political freedom and a civil liberty. This freedom can be limited by laws to protect public safety. Thank you.
Have you ever thought how many ways exploitation takes place in our society? You might have seen a small child working at a tea shop or a poor and illiterate person being forced to work in a rich household. There are various ways in which people can be exploited. Traditionally, the Indian society has been hierarchical and has promoted exploitation in various ways. This is why the Indian Constitution provides for a right against exploitation. Good morning everyone. Today I will be talking about the right against exploitation. The right against exploitation is covered under the Articles 23 and 24 of the Indian Constitution. It provides for mainly two provisions. First, right against human trafficking and beggar, and the second, right against child labor. Every citizen has a right to live a life of dignity and freedom, a right not to be exploited. This is why the Indian Constitution makes sure that no person is exploited. Human trafficking is buying and selling of human beings, mainly women, for immoral purposes. Beggar is forced labor, that is, a person is forced to do work without any remuneration. Child labor is also prohibited under this act. It makes sure that no one can employ a child below 14 years of age to do any kind of hazardous work. Even after all these provisions, exploitation still takes place in our society. As responsible citizens of India, it is our responsibility to inform the police whenever such incidents takes place, so that we might save a person from being exploited. Thank you.
The right to freedom of religion. India is one of the most diverse nations in terms of religion, it being the birthplace of four major world religions: Buddhism, Sikhism, Jainism and Hinduism. The right to freedom of religion is a fundamental right which provides religious freedom to all citizens and ensures a secular state in India. According to the Constitution, there is no official state religion and the state is required to treat all religions impartially and neutrally. Every citizen in India has the right to practice and promote their religion peacefully. Article 27 protects a person from forceful payment of taxes for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion or religious domination. Also, the Constitution guarantees freedom from any religious instruction in educational institutions which are maintained completely out of state funds. Thus, this right plays a very significant role in the life of any citizen. Thank you.
Fifth fundamental right is the cultural and educational right. India is a vast land where we have different languages, races, castes and culture. The Indian people are united on the basis of their race, language, religion, races, history, geographical proximity and the cultural unity. So, it is very much essential to protect the interests and identities of the minority in such a country. The Constitution guarantees every single citizen of India both the right of education and culture. The Constitution also provides special measures to protect the rights of the minority. Any community of the language, script of their own have the right to consult and develop it. No citizen of India can be discriminated against the admission for state or state-aided institution. All minority, whether they are linguistic or religious, have the right to set up an educational institution conserve and develop their own culture. In granting aid to an institution, the state cannot discriminate an institution on the basis of the fact that it is administered by a minority institution. The right to administer doesn't mean that the state cannot interface in a case of maladministration. The right to education includes the responsibility to provide basic education to the individuals who have not completed the primary education in the school and college level.
So the last but not the least fundamental right is the right to constitutional remedies. This is the most important right out of the 6 fundamental rights which we have. So, right to constitutional remedies allows a citizen to go to courts if they believe that any of their fundamental rights have been violated by the state. That is, if any of the other fundamental rights like right to equality, right to freedom of religion, right against exploitation, and cultural and educational rights are denied to any citizen of India, then they have the privilege to approach the court. And in this case, using this right, they can directly go to the Supreme Court instead of going to the High Court or the District Court. So, by this, we can understand how important this right is. So, even Dr. B.R. Ambedkar once declared the right to constitutional remedies as the heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. So, this right, the right to constitutional remedies, makes the other 5 fundamental rights more important and makes them more valuable. Thank you.
Hi Rajeshri, how are you? I'm really happy to see you after a long time. I'm really excited to see our school, friends and teachers. Hi Kirtana, I'm glad to see you too. I'm also excited to see our friends. Hey, where's your mask? Oh sorry, out of excitement I forgot to wear it. Do you have the mask with you? Yeah, it's there in my bag. Let me wear it. You have to obey the protocols of COVID-19, right? Yes, of course. We want to follow the protocols and overcome the pandemic situation.
First thing, we should cover our mouth and nose with a mask. Secondly, we should maintain at least 6 feet distance when we are in a public place. Thirdly, we should wash our hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, or we can use alcohol-based hand sanitizer which contains at least 60% alcohol. These are the protocols which we should maintain to survive this pandemic situation. Thank you.
Namaste. Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life, and its spirit is always the spirit of age. Respected Principal, Vice Principal, teachers and my dear friends. Today, with great pride, we celebrate our Constitution Day, remembering the great reverend leader, the father of our Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. With freedom in mind, faith in words, and pride in our heart, let's salute our nation. Let us also salute the thousands who laid down their lives for free India. Indian Constitution is a perfect balance of citizens' rights and duties. We always remember our fundamental rights, but we often forget our fundamental duties. On this Constitution Day, we the students of Class 10B are here to remind you about our fundamental duties. The idea behind the fundamental duties was to remind the citizen that they have certain obligation towards the country and the society. Now, let me invite my friend to explain you about our first fundamental duty.
Namaste. To abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. It is the duty of every citizen to respect the ideals which include equality, liberty, justice, fraternity, and institutions, namely legislature, executive, and judiciary. Hence, all of us are supposed to maintain the dignity of the Constitution by not indulging in any activities which violate them in letter and spirit. It also states that If a citizen, by any overt or covert act, shows disrespect to the Constitution, the national flag or the national anthem would spell doom to all our rights and the very existence as a citizen of a sovereign nation.
Should be preserved, right? So for that, let me invite my another friend to explain you about that.
Namaste. To value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. Our cultural heritage is one of the most richest and noblest. It is also the part of the heritage of the earth. Hence, it is our duty to protect what we have inherited from the past, preserve it and pass on to the future generation. India is also one of the most ancient civilization on the earth. Our contribution towards art, science and literature is well known to the world. And this land is also the birthplace for Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism.
Our heritage. India is rich in art, culture and literature. It has different languages, dance forms and music. People wear different dresses and also celebrate many festivals. Architecture. The stupas and temples of India show the beauty of the Indian architecture. The great stupas at Sanchi and Sarnath are very popular. The temples at Puri, Konark, Ellora, Madurai, Khajuraho and Thanjavur are attractions of India. India is a secular country. People of different religions live together. They all share the joy and sorrow of each other. Main religions in India are as follows. Hinduism. Hinduism is one of the oldest religions in the world. The Vedas, the Upanishads and the Purans are the oldest scriptures of this religion. Buddhism. Siddhartha was a prince. He left his palace to search the cause of suffering and meaning of life. Finally, he became enlightened while sitting under the Bodhi tree at Gaya. Then, he was known as the Buddha, which means the enlightened one. He was the founder of Buddhism and was a contemporary of Mahavir. Jainism. Jains trace their history through the teachings of 24 gurus called Tirthankars. Adinath or Rishabdev is the traditional founder of Jainism and Lord Mahavir.
We must protect our country from being attacked by the enemies. I would like to invite Parvati to share the next fundamental duty.
Namaste. To defend our country and render national service when called upon to do so. It is the duty of every citizen to defend our country against external enemies. All the citizens are bound to be conscious of any such element entering India, and also, when in need, they should be ready to take up arms to defend themselves. It is addressed to all the citizens We, the people of India, are the ultimate custodians of Constitution. It is in our hands, sovereignty rests. Constitution empowers the citizen. The citizen also empowers the Constitution by preserving it, by following it, and by protecting it to make it more meaningful with words and deeds. Jai Hind.
Happy birthday.
Wait. In such a pandemic situation, we should not hug or handshake and we should keep social distancing.
Leave that. Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Thank you. This is how we talk about candles. Welcome.
Hey, stop. We should sanitize our hands frequently and we should wear and remove our masks properly.
Stay home, stay safe, save lives.
There is nothing to make. Abanna, can I go to market? Yes, we can go to the market. Okay.
Where are you going?
To market.
Goa?
For buying things.
Okay, what's the masks?
I forgot it.
Where are the masks?
Okay, thank you.
Come so. Have you bought this?
Yes.
Why are you not wearing mask like this?
We already wear masks.
It's not a way of wearing mask.
It's enough.
You should cover your mouth and nose, okay?
Thank you.
Coronavirus is really dangerous. It will enter our body through mouth and nose. Wait, you should also follow social distancing. Come now, you should sanitize. Coronavirus is very dangerous. We should wear masks whenever we go out from our house. That means that we should wear it properly by covering our mouth and nose. We should sanitize our hands every now and then. We should keep social distancing and we should not touch our face frequently.
The directive principles of state policy are the guidelines of 15 principles given to the federal institutes governing the states of India to be kept in citation while framing laws and policies. The directive principles is contained in the fourth part of Indian Constitution and are not enforceable by any court. The principles have been inspired from the directive principles given in the Constitution of Ireland and which is related to social justice, economic welfare, legal and administrative matters. The directive principles aim to create a social and economic condition under which citizens can lead a good life. So now, let's have a look into some selected articles of directive principles of state policy.
Article 39A. Equal justice and free legal aid. The state shall secure that the operation of the legal system promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity and shall in particular provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or schemes or in any other way to ensure that opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities. Article 39A of Constitution of India provides free legal aid to weaker and poor sections of the society and ensures justice for all. In every state, State Legal Service Authority and in High Court Legal Service Committee have been constituted.
Article 41. Right to work, to education and to public assistance in certain cases. The state shall, within the limits of its economic capacity and development, make effective provision for securing the right to work, to education and to public assistance in cases of unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement and in other cases of undeserved want. Article 41 of the Constitution secures right to work, to education and to public assistance in certain cases. It requires the state to make effective provision for education. So, the primary responsibility to provide facilities for education is a matter of policy and the essential function of the state. Under the directive principles of Constitution, it is the primary duty of the state. Reiterating the above decision, the Supreme Court held thus the Union of India.
Article 43A. Participation of workers in management of industries. The state shall take steps by suitable legislation or in any other way to secure the participation of workers in the management of undertakings, establishments or other organization engaged in any industry.
The Article 43A of the Constitution of India is titled as Participation of Workers in the Management of Industries. This article was inserted in the Constitution of India by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976 of the Constitution. Under this article, the state is conferred with power to bring suitable legislations or any other way so as to promote workers' participation in the management of industrial undertakings. The said article is contained under Part 6 of the Constitution, which comprises the provision of directive principle of state policy of India.
Article 48. Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry. The state shall endeavour to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines and shall, in particular, take steps for preserving and improving the slaughter of cows, calves and other milch and draught cattle.
Article 48 of the Constitution of India is one of the directing principles which directs the state to make efforts for banning the beef consumption, animal slaughtering, smuggling and their trading with neighboring borders. It further states to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines.
Article 48A. Protection and improvement of environment and safeguarding of forest and wildlife. The state shall endeavour to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country.
Article 48A was added by the Constitution Act of 1976. This article had to be considered in the light of Article 21, which secures right to life and personal liberty, the Environment Act of 1986 and the Wildlife Act of 1972 as amended by the Act of 1986 are among the steps taken to give effect to the mandate contained in Article 48A.